ago, Alberto Carvalho became the superintendent of the LAUSD School District, the nation's second largest public school district. He had a lot of challenges to deal with in that short amount of time, and there is still more to be done. The superintendent is joining us now live in studio this morning. Thank you for being here.
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity.
So first of all, it's been 1 year. You came to LA 1 year ago. Talk about the state of education now versus then.
We've improved attendance by 10%. We reduced chronic absenteeism. We've brought thousands of kids, particularly kids with disabilities and English language learners, back to face-to-face instruction, which they desperately needed. We've launched a number of programs, a Parent Academy, Cultural Arts Passport, to bring kids to the artistic venues of our community. We're at the table negotiating contracts that I think will be historic in terms of compensation and in terms of health benefits, but it's a process. So it's been a good year, but not a year without challenge. And obviously, the biggest issue we're facing is eliminating the gaps as a result of the pandemic. Reading and math proficiency levels are at an all-time low, not only here in LA, but across the country. And we are making the right investments, adding additional teachers, reducing class size in specific schools, identifying the most critically affected students and schools within LA, and giving them the resources to accelerate them towards their full academic potential.
And those are sticking points in the negotiations. We'll get to that in just a moment. But another issue you're dealing with now, and partially as a result of the pandemic, right, is mental health in kids. We have a CBS special called Kids in Crisis, and some of the kids are opening up and talking about what they've been experiencing. So I want you to take a listen to that and then talk about it on the back end.
I was actually suicidal my senior year of high school because when people don't feel safe, people don't talk, people don't speak, people don't say anything, and they just deal with it. That's why you have people committing suicide. That's why you have people turning to drugs and alcohol, because they don't know where else to go.
So this was a really illuminating special because kids were very honest about what they were dealing with, about their suicidal ideations, about their depression, their anxiety. It's a major issue. What do you plan to do about it at LAUSD?
Number one, we've added additional professionals, psychiatric social workers. We're attempting to reduce the ratio between counselors and students for more personalized attention, particularly to student populations who were in crisis prior to the pandemic. You know, a lot of people think that the pandemic led to kids falling to a dark crevice where they're experiencing suicidal ideation, anxiety, obesity, all sorts of elements. But there were thousands, if not millions, of kids across the country who were in crisis prior to the pandemic. Their level of crisis has deepened. That is why community-based organizations, school systems, health organizations need to collaborate in the identification of these kids. Secondly, in the swift provision of services that meet kids where they are, but also extend mental health support and social emotional support to the families of these kids who themselves are experiencing trauma and stress. We can't do it alone. So school is the one-stop shop that addresses most of the critical issues facing kids, but we need state and federal assistance beyond the pandemic investment. We need more professionals. We have the resources to hire additional psychiatric social workers, but the talent is just not there. We need to continue to elevate compensation levels to attract folks from the private sector back into the public system. So we want to meet kids where they are. We have the resources. We need additional collaboration and support.
What's your reaction when you hear those kids talk about that, just as a father and as someone who is so invested in the future of children?
It's shocking. Never did we contemplate in the middle of the pandemic, where we were obsessed, rightfully so, with the physical well-being of folks in our community, including kids, that concern for the physical well-being would be replaced by one which the Surgeon General of the United States of America, Dr. Vivek Murthy, has said is the crisis of the moment, which is the mental health of kids in our communities. The social distancing had a terrible impact on our kids, particularly kids who are fragile, kids with disabilities, students who are English language learners. They descended into a new level of crisis that is truly unprecedented at the national level. So it's heartbreaking to hear kids, who many of them being teenagers, speaking of suicidal ideation, depression, anxiety, things that we don't necessarily associate with large number of kids, but as a result of the pandemic, this has truly emerged as a crisis that we cannot ignore.
Very much on your radar. I want to get now to the negotiations. You are possibly facing a strike by teachers, by school staff. Here's what the teachers union had to say in a tweet. We can put it up there on the screen. School districts will pay literal millions to consultants to, quote, figure out the various crises facing public education, when the solution has literally always been to invest more in fair your reaction?
So number one, I agree with every single teacher who faces kids every single day, particularly considering the challenges kids are facing. We are already at the table with more resources in terms of compensation than have ever been put on the table in this district. I can assure you that at the right time we will reach historic settlements, but I want to be very clear. I cannot engage in a process that results in an outcome that will bankrupt the system. My primary responsibility is to the kids. Secondly, I need to do it in a way that honors and respects our workforce, both the teachers and the support staff. That means those who are represented by UTLA as well as SEIU. We're committed to reducing class size in the most fragile schools in our district. We are committed to adding additional resources. I brought the largest budget that the school board has ever approved. We increased Black student achievement investments by $20 million, $100 million of additional support for the most fragile schools. We continue to do that, but I understand the frustration. That is why my commitment, we will, based on what we have currently at the table, which is more than any other entity in the state of California or nationally has put on the table, set already a historic, precedent-setting level of investment into our teachers and support staff. We have more to do. So I understand this is a process. I look forward to continuing to meet with the leadership of our unions to reach historic, precedent-setting agreements, contracts that honor the great work that our school staffs do.
And you're confident you'll come to an agreement?
I am the eternal optimist. I always believe that there's always plenty of opportunity to carve common ground around those elements that are most critically important for our teachers, for our support staff, for our bus drivers, our custodial staff, for everyone that decides to care and elevate the potential of children. That's why I'm here in Los Angeles, and that's why I believe that together we will elevate LAUSD into the premier spot in American public education.
All right, 1 year in, Superintendent, thank you for joining us this morning.
I appreciate it.
You being here.
Thank you.